They thought I stopped because I stood still. They never noticed the weight I was holding. Silence does not always mean absence. Sometimes it is structure. Time moved forward without asking. I stayed where meaning could catch up. Nothing around me demanded proof, so I kept my shape intact. I learned early that noise convinces easily. Quiet takes longer but lasts. I didn't pause out of fear. I paused to see what remained. Every room I entered expected motion. I gave it presence instead. My voice stayed low on purpose. Depth does not need volume. They counted steps, I counted breath. Different measures, same distance. Nothing pulled me forward, nothing pushed me back. I stood where tension dissolved slowly without spectacle. Stillness became my discipline, not my excuse. I watched urgency exhaust itself without joining the race. No destination waited for me, and that felt honest. I kept my body unarmed, no gestures, no defense. The air didn't rush me, it respected restraint. I didn't build momentum, I built tolerance. Some movements are internal and leave no trace. I learned that control is quieter than power and heavier. Nothing collapsed when I didn't move. The world kept going. I was not resisting change, I was choosing timing. The pressure stayed constant, but the sound disappeared. I stopped explaining my pace when I understood it. No future demanded speed, no past required correction. I let expectation pass me like weather. My stance confused those watching. It wasn't meant for them. I wasn't trying to arrive, I was testing endurance. The moment stretched without breaking, that mattered. I didn't decorate my presence, I reduced it. Some strength shows only when unused. I kept mine intact. I learned to hold pressure without noise and not mistake it for emptiness. They waited for a reaction, I offered stability. Nothing about this was accidental, it was measured. I stayed because leaving was obvious, and obvious never interested me. I allowed this silence to harden into form. I didn't move because I didn't need to. Pressure remained, sound did not, and that was enough. before memory forms a sentence. The body already knows. Skin records what the mind edits and keeps it intact. I learned contact before language, pressure before explanation. Every surface leaves a lesson, even when nothing stays visible. The room cooled my shoulders long before I understood distance. I didn't need to name the moment. My skin already reacted. Touch arrives earlier than meaning and leaves later. The floor spoke through temperature, not through sound. I trusted sensation more than thought. It was faster. My hands remember restraint from places my voice never entered. Some histories are physical and refuse translation. The air shifted against my arms. I adjusted without thinking. I learned the weight of closeness without being held. Certain absences press harder than presence ever could. My skin recognized hesitation before my mind accepted it. Contact doesn't require intention, only proximity. I felt endings in my back before they were announced. Every boundary taught me without instruction. I didn't memorize faces, I memorized distance. The body stores what language abandons and doesn't apologize. I stepped away because my skin tightened, not because I decided. Some truths arrive as tension, not as thought. I trusted the surface reaction over internal debate. The room left a mark without touching. I carried it quietly. My posture adjusted before belief that mattered. The body keeps evidence without narrative. I learned how to stay by how my skin responded. Temperature change, I followed. Certain memories never speak, they stay sensory. I didn't recall the moment, I refelt it. The skin reacts honestly, it cannot perform. Every encounter passed through flesh before becoming memory. I accepted what my body knew without asking why. The first response is always physical. Understanding comes later. I stopped doubting sensation when it stayed consistent. The skin remembered first and stayed right. I let the mind catch up at its own pace. Nothing needed explanation. The body already archived it before thought arrived. The skin had decided. Nothing moved when I stayed, but something kept burning. The stillness held heat without flame. I stood inside a moment that refused to cool. Motion stopped, intensity didn't. Everything around me stayed intact inside. Pressure accumulated, no visible shift occurred, but friction remained. The quiet carried temperature, not silence. I learned that burning doesn't require chaos, only containment. Nothing moved on the surface, depth stayed active. I didn't react, I absorbed. The air stayed calm, my center didn't. Some fires exist without light and consume slowly. I felt the burn without urgency that mattered. No collapse followed, just endurance. The room stayed neutral, I didn't. Heat gathered where movement refused to release. I watched stillness intensify instead of fade. Nothing moved to distract me. Everything stayed focused. The burn didn't spread, it concentrated. I held tension without display, without apology. Some pressure sharpens awareness instead of breaking it. Nothing moved because it didn't need to. Energy remained internal. I stopped mistaking motion for change. Burning taught me that the silence insulated the heat, kept it precise. I didn't cool down, I stabilized. Every second added weight, not direction. The burn stayed private, unannounced. Nothing moved to interrupt it, so it stayed pure. I learned how intensity survives without expression. The body stayed still, the core didn't. No sound marked the burn, no smoke. I carried heat like information, not damage. Nothing moved around me, everything burned inside. In that contrast held, the burn refined itself. Without spectacle, I didn't release it, I understood it. Stillness wasn't absence, it was control. Nothing moved, everything burned, and nothing was lost. I remained contained, the fire stayed exact. Nothing moved, everything burned. Silence didn't arrive to empty the room, it arrived to keep it intact. Nothing was removed from the moment, it was simply secured. I noticed how quiet can bind, what noise would scatter. The space stayed firm, because nothing pressed against it. Silence held the edges in place without tightening. No words intervened and nothing collapsed. The air learned how to carry weight without vibration. I felt cohesion without contact, that surprised me. Silence didn't erase meaning, it prevented distortion. The walls stayed aligned, because nothing argued. I trusted the absence of sound to maintain balance. No sentence tried to finish the thought, so it stayed whole. Silence worked like structure, invisible, necessary. The room didn't drift, it stayed assembled. Nothing demanded articulation, and nothing fell apart. I sensed the joints of the moment, held by restraint. Silence acted as material, not void. I stopped filling gaps and they stopped widening. The floor felt steady because nothing shook it. No reaction was required to remain complete. Silence supported the frame without announcing itself. I learned stability doesn't need confirmation, it needs space. The moment stayed coherent without commentary. Silence refused to decorate and kept the form honest. I didn't brace for collapse because there was none. The structure relied on quiet to keep its shape. No emphases pulled it apart, no climax weakened it. Silence kept pressure evenly distributed across time. I felt held without hands that mattered. The room stayed together because nothing competed. Silence allowed alignment without force. I recognized integrity and restraint, not display. No sound tried to claim ownership, so everything belonged. Silence didn't seal the moment, it sustained it. The edges stayed connected by what wasn't said. I remained centered without anchoring. The space trusted quiet to do its work. Silence carried load without showing strain. Nothing loosened, nothing tightened. The moment held as it was. Silence maintained cohesion until time moved on. it felt outlined. Time didn't pause, it reorganized. I learned the contour of still moments by standing inside them. Nothing rushed me forward, nothing pulled me back. Waiting formed a boundary, not a gap. The air stayed patient, so did I. I noticed how delay sharpens perception instead of dulling it. Every second carried weight without direction. Waiting wasn't passive, it was attentive. I felt time settle around my posture like fabric. No expectation leaned in, the space stayed neutral. Waiting reveals structure where movement hides it. I didn't count minutes, I counted presence. The moment didn't stretch it, clarified. I stood where anticipation dissolves into awareness. Waiting didn't promise resolution, it offered precision. Nothing arrived, but nothing eroded. The shape became visible through repetition. I learned where patience bends and where it holds. Waiting taught me restraint without instruction. The room adjusted its rhythm to mine. No signal interrupted the formation. Waiting carried form without pressure. I noticed how calm thickens when undisturbed. Time didn't slow, it redistributed. Waiting wasn't about outcome, it was about position. I remained aligned while nothing progressed. The edges of the moment sharpened as I stayed. Waiting exposed detail, movement would have blurred. No tension escalated, it stabilized. I recognized endurance as a quiet geometry. Waiting held space without demanding entry. The room accepted the delay and stayed intact. Nothing leaned toward arrival, nothing resisted duration. Waiting shaped itself around presence. I felt the outline clearly by not stepping out. The moment stayed consistent, and so did I. Waiting didn't weaken resolve, it refined it. The shape remained because nothing forced change. I stayed inside that form until it settled. Waiting completed itself without arrival. There was a breath between two decisions, and I stayed inside it. Nothing pushed the moment forward, nothing pulled it back. I learned how pause becomes territory when neither side claims you. The air held evenly, no preference. I didn't rush the next thought, I let it form. That breath carried balance, not hesitation. I noticed how choice loses urgency when silence intervenes. No outcome waited impatiently, the space stayed neutral. I felt suspension without anxiety that mattered. The breath didn't ask for resolution, it offered clarity. I stood where direction dissolves into awareness. Nothing demanded commitment, nothing withdrew permission. The moment widened slightly, enough to hold me. I realized some decisions fail when forced too early. The breath allowed alignment without pressure. I didn't prepare an answer, I prepared attention. That space between options stayed clean. No voice inside me rushed the process. I trusted the interval to do its work. The breath didn't belong to either side, it belonged to time. I stayed where intention softens before becoming action. Nothing judged my stillness, nothing rewarded speed. The breath carried information without language. I felt equilibrium settle, brief but exact. No choice collapsed because neither was touched. The space respected uncertainty as form. I learned how restraint preserves options longer than force. That breath wasn't delay, it was precision. I remained centered without leaning. The moment didn't fragment, it held. I noticed how urgency fades when breathing stays steady. The breath marked the boundary between reaction and control. I didn't select, I observed. That interval shaped awareness, not outcome. I stayed inside the breath until clarity replaced tension. Nothing ended, nothing began. The breath remained, and so did I. Not everything falls by breaking. Some things dissolve quietly. watched structure loosen without resistance. The collapse didn't announce itself, it adjusted. No sound marked the shift, only release. I learned how form changes when pressure it is reduced. Nothing shattered, it rearranged. The theory was simple, gentleness allows descent. I stood inside a slow unraveling that felt intentional. The shape didn't disappear, it softened. Collapse didn't mean failure, it meant adaptation. I noticed how tension leaves before damage arrives. The room didn't resist gravity, it cooperated. Nothing rushed the fall, it took its time. I trusted the quiet breakdown more than forceful stability. No edges cut, they rounded. The theory held because it wasn't rigid. I observed how systems survive by yielding. Collapse didn't erase meaning, it redistributed it. The process stayed controlled even as form shifted. Nothing demanded repair, nothing panicked. The structure learned flexibility instead of strength. I remained present as the outline changed. The collapse felt deliberate, almost careful. I saw how pressure exits through patience. Nothing snapped, it bent. The theory allowed integrity without permanence. I felt relief, not loss. The fall completed itself without consequence. No debris followed, only space. Collapse stayed quiet and effective. I stayed aligned with the descent. The theory proved itself by remaining subtle. Nothing needed to be rebuilt, nothing was destroyed. The shape adapted it and held. I accepted the softened form as functional. The collapse concluded without drama. Stillness is not peace, it only removes noise. I stood without movement, but tension stayed awake. Nothing shifted around me inside. Alignment worked. Stillness held the surface, pressure held the core. Peace requires release. Stillness requires control. I learned the difference slowly by remaining. The room stayed quiet, my awareness didn't. No sound interrupted, nothing settled. Stillness sharpened attention, it didn't soften it. I felt alert without motion that mattered. Peace drifts outward, stillness stays internal. I remained unmoving, not relaxed. Stillness carried discipline, not comfort. The silence demanded accuracy, not rest. I noticed every detail because nothing distracted. Stillness is a position, not an outcome. It keeps everything visible without resolving. I stayed upright, not relieved. Peace loosens the body. Stillness holds in nothing. Nothing eased inside me, nothing escalated. Unforgiving. Stillness maintained form without mercy. I didn't confuse calm with peace, they aren't related. The room stayed neutral, I stayed exact. Stillness kept edges intact, peace would have blurred them. I learned how restraint sharpens instead of heals. No warmth arrived, no relief followed. Stillness allowed awareness without reward. I saw clarity, the air stayed balanced, no invitation offered. Stillness demanded presence, peace would have allowed absence. I stayed engaged without reaction. Nothing relaxed, nothing collapsed. Stillness preserved tension at a workable level. I accepted the weight without resistance. Peace dissolves pressure, stillness contains it. I held the moment instead of resting in it. Stillness remained after hope left, no softness entered, only precision. I didn't mistake control for ease. Stillness stayed firm, peace never arrived, and that distinction held everything together.